fight the IRS alone. I would recommend Optima. In fact, I already have.
Call now for a free consultation. Call 800-611-8892. 800-611-8892. Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Every business is asking the same question. How do we make AI work for us? The possibilities are endless, and guessing is too risky. But sitting on the sidelines is not an option, because one thing is almost certain. Your competitors are already making their move. No more waiting. With NetSuite by Oracle, you can put AI to work today. NetSuite is the #1 AI cloud ERP, trusted by over 43,000 businesses. It's the unified suite that brings your financials, inventory, commerce, HR, and CRM into a single source of truth. That connected data is what makes your AI smarter, so it doesn't just guess, it knows. And you've got total flexibility, because now with NetSuite AI Connector, you can use the AI of your choice to connect to your actual business data and ask every question you ever had, from key customers to cash on hand to inventory trends. Plus, automate those tiresome manual processes. Let's see your competitors do that. Right now, get the business guide Demystifying AI free at netsuite.com/nation. That's netsuite.com/nation.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
Let's be honest, you love your dog more than most humans, so why are they home alone all day binge sleeping like a teenager? Send them to Dogtopia, the world's largest daycare. Dogtopia dogs get serious exercise, averaging 8 miles a day. That's 70,000 steps. That beats laying around at home staring at squirrels through the window. They make new friends and can even sleep overnight. And you can watch them on our live webcams like the helicopter parent you are. Visit Dogtopia.com to find a location or explore franchising. Dogtopia, because your dog deserves a social life too.
Voices built on freedom, powered by you.
As a truck driver in this country, I can tell you the fuel prices are considerably lower now under Trump than they were under Biden.
Secure borders, a sound fiscal policy, and fair and verifiable elections.
Join the conversation.
Unions will never let anybody else work unless the unions get their piece of the pie. They are protecting the wage.
Your voice is heard here. SiriusXM Patriot, Channel 125.
Okay, I have a tough question for you. What would happen if the unthinkable happened to you? Now, I know you don't want to think about it. That's why it's called the unthinkable. But what would happen to your family? I mean, would they struggle to keep up financially? Would they be able to stay in their home? What about your kids and their future and their education? Well, here's the good news. There's an easy way to help protect your family, and that's with life insurance through Ethos. With Ethos, you can get life insurance coverage in minutes. No medical exam, 100% online, no doctor visits, no blood tests, no hassles. Just answer a few simple health questions, and you'll get your lowest rate from their trusted carriers. Get up to $2 million in coverage for as low as $2 a day, but you need to act now because rates can go up the longer you wait. So spend 10 minutes and get covered today with Ethos. Look, life is unpredictable, but getting life insurance shouldn't be. For your free quote, visit ethos.com/willcount. That's ethos.com/willcount. Rates may vary, billed monthly. Sample rate for a 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male.
The Will Count majority. Lobbyists for the Constitution.
Right now, where we have residents that are asking the very limited number of police officers that we have to fight ICE agents on the street, to stand by their neighbors. We cannot be at a place right now in America where we have two governmental entities that are literally fighting one another. Why are we put in this position?
We're put in this position because we have approximately 600 police officers in Minneapolis, far fewer than are able to work at any given time. And there are approximately 3,000 ICE agents in the area.
That trailer has like sliding glass door in the back.
Chad Wolf, former acting DHS Secretary, Chair of Homeland Security and America First Policy Institute. Sir, how insane is this? Jacob Fry is saying if we had a force equivalent to ICE, we would have a shooting war in the streets of Minneapolis.
Yeah, these are insane words. I can't believe that more people are not calling him out on it. Thanks for doing so. I mean, no one else believes that the local police department and ICE are fighting one another other than the mayor. Now, unfortunately, what the mayor has done is told the local police to stand down from helping ICE. And so when those residents call, as the mayor indicated they are doing, saying, hey, can you help me out with it because I got ICE agents in the neighborhood? It should be. Those are law enforcement officers. They are carrying out lawful orders. Have a nice day. And if you're a resident and you're here legally in the country, you don't have anything to worry about. If you're here illegally, guess what? You should be concerned because you're breaking the law and they're there to enforce the law.
Look, I get it when a municipal police chief says, look, this is not our lane. I get that, right? I totally understand that. But if ICE says, hey, we got a crowd building while we're arresting a pedophile, they're supposed to respond, because I've had calls, why can't ICE do crowd control? Because that's not what ICE does, right? The DEA doesn't do crowd control, ATF doesn't do crowd control, the FBI doesn't do crowd control. That's the job of a partner in state and local law enforcement. And I'm not going to play the clip again, but, the woman's partner that got shot was like, why do you have real bullets? Well, because this is the real world, and that's what police officers have. Actually, I think it's pretty tragic that some of these people don't understand, really, there's ramifications for what you're doing here.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, and to your point, I think there's a perception, mainly, out there, because you have leaders like the governor and the mayor and others who continuously denigrate ICE and call them all sorts of names. And I think that there's a perception that goes along with that somehow ICE is an inferior law enforcement agency, that they're like a mall cop, right? That they're not really cops. They really don't have authority, and that you can play games with them. You can block their access. You don't have to respond to them when they give you a lawful command, on and on and on. And of course, all of that is BS. These are real law enforcement officers that have arrest authority, that go after some pretty dangerous criminals. And so this idea that local leaders and then obviously individual Americans can somehow play games with ICE, it's very, very dangerous, which unfortunately Minneapolis is finding out firsthand. And I put a lot of this on the feet of the governor and the mayor. When, just a day ago, they're talking about how they're not trained. They only pick up brown people, all the different lies. I think what that tells the residents of Minneapolis is push back, fight ICE at every chance that you get, which is currently what they're doing.
Look, all politicians play to their base, but what they're doing is very dangerous here, right? They're making it sound like like you said, these aren't real officers, and these aren't real laws, and they aren't really to be enforced or anything like that. So if you want to go out and block the road or throw rocks or do whatever, go ahead and do that, because there's no consequences. And you've almost got an attitude like, well, under the 10th Amendment, we don't have to abide by federal law. This is not a 10th Amendment question. This is an Article 1, Section 9 question. Immigration laws have been passed. They have to be enforced. And oh, by the way, not to make it political, but Bill Clinton signed a bill into law that expedited deportation. So whether they're actual felons or just in the country illegally, the penalty for being here illegally is deportation.
No, that's exactly right. And I think if you look across the country and you kind of ask yourself and say, hey, why am I not seeing this in other cities and other states? Why don't I see this in Florida and Texas, which have high illegal alien populations? ICE does a lot of operations in those states. to remove them. Why aren't we seeing this type of incident there? And it's an easy answer because local law enforcement cooperates, and they're hand in glove with ICE in allowing them into jails, picking up dangerous criminals so that they don't have to go into neighborhoods. And if they do have to go into neighborhoods, then you've got local police there supporting them, doing that crowd control, blocking off the street. And so when residents in that neighborhood look at their local police, they say, okay, you know, I know who they are. I've seen them in my neighborhood before. I'm going to stay back. But when you don't have either of those scenarios in Minneapolis, it's very dangerous. It's dangerous for ICE, and it's dangerous for the residents, and it's dangerous for the illegal aliens and all involved. And so the mayor, the governor have a choice. It's a choice they get to make each and every day is I'm going to continue to put my residents and ICE officers in danger, or I'm going to change my policy. I'm going to cooperate. I'm going to get the criminal illegal aliens out of here, and I'm going to let ICE do their job.
This is not a political thing to me, okay? This is what I don't understand. Who wants human traffickers in their community? Who wants drug dealers in their community? Who wants extortionists in their community like we saw in Aurora, Colorado? When I hear some of these police chiefs saying, well, we're here to protect the residents of XYZ city. Yeah, but releasing criminals back onto the streets is not keeping your community safe. You'd think that every mayor, every governor, every police chief would want an illegal alien criminal removed from their community. Isn't that the point of incarceration? If someone commits a crime, you say, well, they're a threat to the community. We're going to put them behind bars for a certain amount of time. We call it corrections. Hopefully they don't